Hi guys, welcome back to the channel for another video on Marvel Contest of Champions. This video here is all about Darkhawk and I'm going to do my review of this champion. This is part of the content contributor program where we get to have champions for a limited time to review and then the champion gets removed from our account. If you're interested in learning more about the character, then I've put a link in the description to a video I've recently done about a comic book history and information that you may find interesting. But I digress. I've got this champion to review, so let's get into the review. So let's talk about his abilities. First off, he is a robot, so champions like Medusa should be able to interact quite well. And as well, we've got armor, which obviously armor break is going to be handy, and also power rate and shock. So pretty standard things for a tech-based character. One cool little thing to start off with is he has got double immunity. Always love double immunity champions, and bleed immune and poison immune are going to be so much of value for this character when you're thinking about getting a champion from crystals or even ranking them up. It's no surprise with this champion, if you get the signature levels up higher, they're going to be amazing. This particular character has 3 different modes: a null mode, a stealth mode, and a shield mode. And to kind of give you an idea of what they're like, I mean, you can read now that the idea is that the shield mode is all about blocking, it's all about armor, it's all about strength and withstanding damage. Stealth is all about being more kind of offensive, sneaky, but at the same time the power rate increase is fantastic, and we're going to talk about how that factors into regeneration and how amazing that is for this character. And also, and finally, we've got null mode. Null mode is kind of the offensive, kind of striking, and the DPS, the damage per second kind of mode, which is going to be the big thing about outputting a lot of damage. When I first got the character to experiment and also do the review for, I didn't actually think much of it. I thought it was pretty mediocre. I didn't think that it could do much damage and what its use in the contest really was. But as I slowly got to learn the aspect that it's meant to be a staying champion, it's meant to be a defensive champion, and it's meant to exist on the 3 aspects. That it's meant to be good for Alliance Wars defense, it's made to stay alive longer, and at the same time you have to build to certain modes in order to keep him alive longer. I was starting, and I'm starting to really enjoy him to a point where I may have to consider getting his crystals. The first thing that I really liked about this character, he is not a complicated champion. There's a lot of champions being put into the contest nowadays that have so many complicated aspects to them, whether or not they've got persistent charges and the way they interact with certain characters and the way that you have to play them out. This one is more easier to play with once you learn the aspect of switching modes. Let's now talk about my favorite modes and switching between them and null space regen. So if you've played Uncollected and you know if you knock down Darkhawk, he gets shield mode. Shield mode is annoying, can be seen as so annoying for stuff like Alliance Wars defense, especially if you're going up against a character, you're like, oh yeah, I knocked him down. Oh, he's gone into shield mode. That isn't good. Even worse if you've then got him switching modes and that is then doing a regen. In some of the clips I'm going to show you, I've gone from doing this kind of, I think it's like a chaining, like a regen chaining, where you've gone from one mode to another, switched on to an L2, and then, got knocked down, got up again, switched into an L2, and then did another regen. In one point, I had 56% health. I then went up to 73%. So that's a 17% increase in health just in that moment there. And this is a champion that is all about staying in the game longer, staying in the fight longer, long term. Getting a 5-star or a 6-star version is just going to be amazing to get. And yeah, there's not a great amount of damage out for this the character, but I don't think this is how this is meant to be played in an offensive point of view. I think it's all about staying in the game longer in order to, well, not die and also not lose quite so much health. There's a few little micro things that do look quite good about the character, especially I've been playing about with going up to SP3 and entering into null mode. This is so that I can then hit out more. And this is what I was talking about, the different modes for different things. Whether or not I want to damage output more, then that's all about switching into null mode. And whilst in that null mode is doing some specials to do more shock damage. Again, at a higher starage, 5-star or 6-star, you would see a greater amount of damage output for this character. But at the same time, and like I've said, this isn't the key aspect to this character. It's all about staying alive longer and not losing health. And one of the most devastating parts of this character, and as we know, like I keep saying, Uncollected, if you've played it, you know that missing, yeah, going into the stealth mode and being an Alliance Wars defense candidate is going to be really annoying for players. I'm not looking forward to battling up against this character. Yeah, you could use your Daredevils. Yeah, you could use your Medusas. But the fact is, if you're one of those days where you don't have any of those champions that you're bringing in, you're going to have to rely on just making sure the character does an L1. If you put him on certain nodes where he's going to be doing an L2 to start off with, then you're probably going to be in a bit of pain. And at the same time, with other nodes, I'm sure that you could really stack his damage output or his defensive capabilities. You're going to have to really watch out for this character, especially when techs are placed in defense. Assume that it's going to be him, because it's going to be really annoying. And what of synergies? These aren't amazing ones. Like, it reminds me of the old days of Marvel Contest of Champions, you know, when you had your attack improvements, your critical rating, your critical damage, where there's not something so substantial as we've seen with new champion releases. There are some positives in that you've got with this, that you start in a random mode with having Night Thrasher or having Moon Knight, and as well having the improvements to power rate against villains and critical rating against heroes is a nice little addition. And as well, the damaging debuffs over are 40% stronger. So they're kind of like improvement things. But if you're looking to then strengthen and make a strong questing team, will Darkhawk be amongst them, and will you be utilising that synergy? More than likely not. But it's still fun to kind of think about, well, will something improve another champion? So I really did enjoy Darkhawk. To begin with, like I said, I didn't enjoy him. I couldn't really get on with him. But slowly, when I learned the way to play the champion from an offensive point of view, it was a lot better. People may opt for him being more of a defensive point of view with stuff like stealth mode and shield mode, but for me, I can see value in offensive. Like when I did the abilities video to begin with, I thought that he could be good as offensive. Didn't know how the percentages would stack and didn't know the damage output be good. I do feel that this will be, you've got to get him at least to 100 signature stones of whatever it is to be of value. But when it comes to the 5-star, yeah, I think that's going to be a thing. You're going to have to get him to about 100 to be really good. And then with a 6-star, yeah, it's hard to say. Either way, do you need him to be awakened? More than likely, yes. You're going to be able to damage output a lot more, and at the same time, auto block being there, as well as the attack rating. So, you know, there's things that you really need. Power rate increase as well is going to be devastating. So when he's awakened, he is going to be a pain in the butt. The same way with like Medusa needs to be awakened to get living strands to be a real asset to the champion. So yeah, if you're looking to get him, hopefully you can get him with a generic awakening gem, or if you've got a tech awakening gem, then that might be a good shout for this champion. So that's been our video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button and subscribe for more Marvel Contest of Champions based content. What's your thoughts on Hawkeye? Put it in the comment sections below. Will you be going for the character? Will you not be? It's up to you at the end of the day. But I've been RichTheMan, and if you like this video, then you're a decent person, and I shall catch you in the next one. Bye bye for now.